All right, how's it going? Have everyone having a great day? Really excited to be here again, and did this yesterday. Had an awesome turnout yesterday, and looking forward to doing this again today and also tomorrow. So if you can't get enough of this stuff and you're looking to take it to the next level, feel free to jump on with me tomorrow, and we'll get rocking and roll. So we got about 2 minutes to go. I like to start on time, and so we'll start right at noon, getting right into it. And know this, and that's if you're listening to this, you're listening to a webinar about how to grow your gym from a gym owner, and so that means that I'm recording this from the gym, and we haven't, totally created a legit soundproof podcast studio yet. So if you do hear a medicine ball banging, and if you do hear, some yelling and screaming in the background, all that means is that, heck, there's there's a gym going on right here, and so that's what that means. So really, really excited that you guys are all here today, and fired up to be bringing you some really, really awesome stuff. We had again, yesterday was killer. A lot of good questions asked about the month of August and what you can do to get to the next level and going from there. So very good. All right, let's go ahead and Zach, and let's see if we can mute everybody. Okay. Great. Okay, so let's get locked and loaded. We are about to talk about your marketing, but also we're going to look at the month of August. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, and Zach, let's just make sure everyone's muted if possible.
Got it.
Okay, great. Okay, awesome. And Zach, you are my eyes and ears. Just let me know what you see. I want to get this to full screen. So here we go. Okay. Zach, are we good there?
Yep, looks good.
Okay, great. Is everyone muted? I'm hearing some background noise.
Should be good.
Okay, great. All right, guys, welcome to the show. We're going to get rolling with how to get the marketing system that'll deliver a record-breaking August and your most profitable fall ever. This is my second time doing this webinar. Did it yesterday, and I'm doing it again tomorrow. Really, really excited about this. We had an awesome day yesterday. Ton of great questions, ton of good stuff going on. So this is like my this is the only thing I have planned for the day. This is it. I woke up, got a workout in, and this just doing this webinar, and then going to go home and spend the rest of the day with the fam and just kick it. So really excited to be bringing you guys this stuff today. And again, let's get rocking and rolling because I start on time. So here's what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you a complete strategy that will bring consistent, highly qualified leads to your door, and then the tactics to use what no other gyms are using correctly. And again, when I say that no other gyms, that's not no other gyms. That's there's 50 plus gyms in my mastermind that are using all this stuff and killing it. And all the stuff you're seeing out there in the industry about these scare tactics with trying to say, the fitness industry is dying and stuff. While there is some truth to this, that there are tons of people that are just killing it and doing a really good job. So it's possible for you to have this great success as well. So quick housekeeping, go ahead and turn off your phones and just do me a favor and make sure your audio is muted. We're going to have time for questions at the end, but I'm still hearing some background noise. So if you guys can make sure that your audio is muted, I would really appreciate that. Okay, great. So just go mute, turn off your phones and get out a pen and paper. Make sure you guys are actually, taking notes on this stuff. There's going to be a ton of notes to take because I'm going to be unpacking a lot of things for you guys, but go ahead and just make sure that you got pen and paper out and go ahead and put on full screen capabilities. Let's get focused, turn all the other browsers off. Don't get distracted by Instagram and Facebook and just, that's a huge problem. Distractions are just a huge problem these days. And that's, a whole nother webinar that I could teach about how to minimize distractions. So turn on full screen and let's get rocking and rolling. So, okay, so here's our agenda for today. I'm going to talk about my story because I'm sure you've come on this webinar and some of you may not know who I am. You should probably know a little bit more about me that's going to deliver this message to you today. I'm going to talk about the 5 pillars of marketing and how you can get a cash surge in the month of August. And then finally, I'm going to talk about the program I have coming up of how you can apply all the stuff I'm going to teach you into your business and how I can help you do that with the new client surge program. And then we're going to do some Q&A at the end. You can type into the chat and you can do some Q&A, right? So my path. Before I opened my own gym, I logged about 10,000 hours on the floor training clients. So a lot of people think of me as like a business guy and a sales and marketing kind of guy, but in reality, I am a trainer. Right? I started in this business as a trainer, logging 10,000 hours on the floor training clients, which is kind of why a lot of people resonate with me, because it's like I'm not just some, suit that's talking about business. It's like I've walked every step of your shoes. And this is, me, back in, actually, it's only a few years ago, but this is me at the Hall of Fame, the LaDainian Tomlinson's Hall of Fame induction where we were invited. And this is my wife, Vanessa, and there's a guy named Todd Durkin. And Todd Durkin was my first boss in the fitness industry, and he runs a gym called Fitness Quest 10. And I was, I was a trainer there for 5 years. And again, that's where I logged my 10,000 hours. And so I know what it's like to grind. I know what it's like to get out there and be on the floor training, tons of clients. So I'm coming to you from that perspective as well, because I get what you guys have to do every day. After I finished at Fitness Quest, I loaded everything I had into this truck, and this was the site of my first facility. So you guys know that the kettlebells and the prowlers and all the stuff that's in the back of the truck. And I moved from California to New Jersey, and very quickly opened up 5 facilities right away. I opened up 5 gyms right away. Here's the picture of the gyms. So the top left is the boot camp parking lot. The right is the home gym in my mom's basement. The bottom left is the parking lot by the dumpster. The middle one is the turf field where I would go around and train athletes, and then the other one was where I rented space at a local gym. So this was my first few years of business, was just driving around in my truck to all these different places, trying to just make ends meet and trying to get things started and trying to get a name for myself. And that was kind of like my first year. And some of you may be in that spot now, or you may have kind of think back to that spot, but I look at this as some of the biggest growth years, of your life to really learn about yourself and learn about how you can, make good, smart decisions and get there and hustle and make something happen. But I started, pretty much like most of you. So I opened my first facility in 2008. This is a 6,000 square foot, we call it a warehouse, but 6,000 square foot gym. Called Gabriel Fitness. That's my facility, which currently runs today. We train thousands of people out of that gym, and we recently moved 2 years ago into where I'm sitting today, which is a 10,000 square foot, we'll call it state of the art. I think that's kind of an overused term, but state of the art facility. And lots of good things still happen. And this is a fully functioning gym. This is not, I'm not like kind of just running like a really small operation that doesn't pay me any money and just trying to like use that. This is I have a full team. I have a full business, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it as we go. And this is a picture of us at our 10-year anniversary. You can see this is an important picture to me, because if you see, I'm all the way over on the left-hand side. My face is not even in the full picture. Imagine that. A guy built this gym out 10 years and I'm not even in the full picture. And in reality, that's exactly what I want. And that's exactly what I tried to do, as I tried to not make it about me, because I knew if the business was only about me, that I would never be able to do what I'm doing today. So this is a really telltale sign of a business and a great team. And again, we're not talking about team today. We're talking about how you can ring the register, for your business, but also in the month of August. But at the end of the day, it really comes back to the people you put on the floor. So that's kind of what allowed me and enabled me to go start some of this stuff, right? So I've written, 3 books on the subject of, fitness business, and 1 on the subject of mindset. And, just have had a blast. I've had a blast seeing my gym run and being able to have the freedom and time to wholly start a whole nother business. I mean, this is like a whole nother venture for me that, I get out of bed every day really excited to help gym owners grow their business. So that's where my passion is. That's where my focus is. And I have a podcast that you should definitely, listen to. It's a ton of really great information that I do with my co-host, Tom Langton. And I've been out speaking all over. I was at Perform Better Chicago last week. I'm going to Long Beach next week. I'm going to Providence the week after that. I'm going to Anaheim the week after that. So it's been a busy summer for me. I have our mastermind meeting in the middle of all this, and we're starting the surge program. So it's been a crazy summer for this. Again, as much as I love doing it, it's going to be nice at the end of August to get some time, just relax with the family. But so that's kind of what I've been doing and speaking. Proud of these guys, some of these best, some of the biggest names in the fitness industry that have all kind of given me the sign off on their word, and really proud about that. But this is all well and good, and these people are important to me, but this is really where, I can come to you today and say, I've got something good for you. Because it's very easy to get Mike Boyle to say something nice because he likes me and Plumber and stuff like that. But these are the people that I coach on a daily basis, right? And these are the guys in my mastermind that I coach every day. And these guys will tell you that I've helped change their life and their business. And you'll hear from a lot of them today. But in reality, this is what makes me the most proud, is being able to coach gym owners like you guys every day, and help you grow and take the whole business to the next level. So this is what I'm most proud of in the fitness industry. So here's what you're going to learn today: how to make some quick cash in August. And you'll quickly learn about me that I'm not a get cash quick or a get lead quick kind of guy, but I do run a gym. And I do understand the summer months get lean. I do understand that people go on hold. I do understand that people take vacations. I do understand that, there's, you train athletes in their sports and stuff like that. So I do understand this. That's why I do want to make sure that I'm giving you some tools so you can get some quick cash in August to set you up. But really what it's going to be mostly about is how to get leads without being reactive. Right? So you can have a predictable flow of new business, right? That's really what this is all about. It's like, how can you create a predictable system into your business to generate new clients? That's really what, like, the nutshell of everything that I try to teach. How to avoid the one-trick money marketing plan so you can finally relax and watch your machine work. And the new way to build the gym of your dreams. A lot of stuff like this being taught out there, but I'm going to give you the new way to do it. So why is this important to you now? Well, this is important to you because of this. Like, there's all the Orange Theories and stuff like that coming, but there's also another surge of new franchises coming that are very similar to your business and mine. There's a small group personal training franchises popping up. I know I have friends that ran great businesses for years that are now franchising. These are going to be coming to your community, and they're a little different than trying to compete with an Orange Theory, because you can still say Orange Theory, it's group X, it's large groups and stuff like that. But there's a surge of franchises coming that are very similar to your model. And here's the thing: even though they do come, the one thing that you have is you have you. Right? The franchises are very far removed from the founder of that. So one of the most important things that you'll always have an advantage of, according to these franchises, is yourself and the ability to drive it and have a great business and have that community type feel, which these franchises will never be able to have. But we want to beat them to the punch. We want to get to a point where we're getting our business really to the next level and having great things going on in our business before some of these guys hit the market. These things are live and well. I will tell you this, not many people are doing a Peloton workout in the morning and then going to your gym at night. If they buy a Peloton bike, it's a good chance that's what they're going to do. Same thing with these at-home workout programs like P90X and all this stuff. That's what they're going to be doing. So you might think that these aren't competition for you. They are. Okay, and they are starting to explode. So the competition is not just brick and mortar. The competition is not just the other CrossFit down the street. The competition is all over the place. Okay, and that's why it's important for you guys to have a marketing system in place now. We're in the middle of a very strong economy right now. Okay, a very strong economy right now. It's starting to show signs already. This is not going to last forever. In fact, it's going to start trending downward. Okay, so if you have not had success in the last few years, know it's going to get more challenging to have success. And that's not to scare you or anything like that. That's just reality. It's kind of like what goes up must come down. And you just got to understand and know that this is coming. And it's the best thing you can do is start preparing your business for that now. Most of the ways that advertising companies teach marketing that we've learned is actually dead wrong. There's so much misinformation about how you should be getting new clients, and I'm going to talk about some of that stuff today. And there's countless gurus peddling the one-trick pony marketing tactic, right? I'm going to talk a lot about that today, is the one-trick pony marketing tactic that work for some, right? You're going to hear a lot of success stories and stuff like that, but what you don't know is they signed a very long lawyered up waiver to say if something does bad happen, that they're not allowed to speak about it. So that is kind of what's going on. So you're only hearing the good. You're not hearing any of the bad, but there's a lot of stuff going on with that. Okay, so is this for you? This is for you if you're a gym owner and you want to make more money. This is you if you're frustrated by kind of chasing shiny objects and you want to have a more predictable, reliable, and consistent flow of leads. This is for you if you want to maximize your gym's profit and break through to the next level. And right now, if you're depending only on one way to generate leads, and that one way is starting to slow down, if not stopping completely, this is definitely for you. This is for you if you want to dominate your area. I know every day I wake up and I want to dominate. I want to dominate my gym. I want to dominate in the consulting space. And I imagine you guys taking time to be on this podcast, that you want to do that as well. This is for you if you want to have more time, right? Some of the best testimonials I get are not about making more money. They're about freedom. They're about sitting down at breakfast time with their kids while their gym runs without them. That is like the ultimate testimonial. That's what keeps me going every day. This is for you if you're worried about paying the bills because of low lead flow, right? This is for you if you're going to discover the secrets to the marketing system that gets results. And this is for you if the summer months are lean and you need a surge or a system to minimize the impact of them. I'm not going to peddle a 6-week challenge, right? But I'm not going to tell you to stop doing it. Okay, I'm not going to say, 6-week challenge. It's so crazy how these guys just go back and forth. One guy says the 6-week challenge is this, the other guy says it's dead. It's always crazy how black and white people can be. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, well, just do this or just stop doing this, and this is dead. And in reality, it's like they're just all it's a bunch of hogwash out there. A 6-week challenge is still a great thing to do. They're just not great to do every minute of the day. So, I mean, we'll talk about these things and what offers you should be having. It's not a Facebook ad funnel. It's not a get leads quick. We'll talk about getting some cash quick, but it's not. That's the other thing too, is there's so much stuff out there about getting leads, right? This guy got 394 leads in 30 seconds, right? So like, okay, great. Well, like how many of those actually turned into clients and how many of those clients are a year later? And you're going to see a lot of the testimonials I'm going to show you today. They're testimonials after a longer period of time, not just like one event. It's not a plan to fill a leaking bucket, guys. The number one thing you need to do is be good at what you do. Okay, and I'm assuming that you guys are doing a good job with your clients. Okay, and again, I'm coming from a trainer perspective. I know what it's like to train clients. I know what it's like to train 60 hours a week. Okay, I know what it's like to balance that and stuff. But the reality is, you got to be good at what you do, because no marketing plan on the planet can fill a leaking bucket. All right, you're just going to keep staying the same. So you got to make sure, before you really think you have a marketing problem, you got to make sure that you don't actually have a retention problem. Okay, so my initial conflict, why am I talking about August? Well, I'm talking about August because I have some personal experience with August. August and I didn't get along very well. And when we started, we were primarily a sports performance business. And we used to do a lot of our business in June, where we would kind of take money in for camps. And we would take in lots of money in June, but then all of a sudden July and August were just like really, really bad months. And all of a sudden I start seeing my cash go, and it was just like going downward like crazy. And that one month I looked at it, and we lost $20,000 in the month of August. So payroll and everything was high. It was still high because we were still fulfilling the stuff we'd sold in June, but we weren't taking in any revenue. And all of a sudden, it was like this. I was in this dire position of, hey, we have not taking in any money in August. I'm not good at managing money because I was a trainer at the time. And all of a sudden, I'm looking and say, we're making a lot of money, but we still have this huge tax payment coming up that I don't know if we're prepared to actually make that. So this was like having these massive swings in revenue really kind of increased my stress. Like Vanessa and I, my wife and I, used to go on vacation, and we would go on vacation in August, and it was like the most stressful times of the year, because like, all right, here I am trying to relax on a vacation, and all I can think about is us getting crushed in August. And it was the worst thing ever. And I'm thinking, like, so many other gyms must have this problem too, maybe not to this day. And we had to do something about it. But here's kind of the it. So I was a great trainer in my business, but I resisted to learn marketing, right? I resisted learning marketing. So I didn't have this good steady flow. I was good at kind of getting some spikes, right? But I didn't understand how to get this good stability of business. I didn't have a plan at all. I practiced what's called squirrel marketing. You have to say squirrel, right? And I was just like, all right, we need business. All right, let's do a little bit of this. Let's do a little bit of that. And I was just all over the place, and there was no plan. And it was just like, a stressful, frustrating, thing to deal with. And the things I did do, for marketing, were all like, things that took a lot of my time and a lot of labor. And I did a lot of speaking, and I went out to do community events because that's all I knew at the time, right? I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know how to write copy. I didn't know anything. So I just went and did the stuff that, like the hustle stuff, right? And while some of that stuff is still good, it takes a lot out of you to do. I hired several marketing companies that focused on branding, which was a huge mistake, a massive mistake, because branding is good for $500 million companies. Okay. So if people are telling you to really make your website really pretty, and people are telling you to make sure you get your business cards out there and your logo and put it stuff, it's a bunch of crap. Okay. Your business is not built to brand. Okay. Your business is built to market. And I'll talk about the difference today. I spent lots of money on sponsorships and online publications that didn't equate to anything, but I didn't even know that it didn't equate to anything because I wasn't measuring in it. And then all of a sudden we hit the bottom. Cash flow problems out the wazoo, especially in the month of August. Looming tax payment in October. And I just remember the stress was just crazy because the summer was just such a terrible time. I had to fire some people. We had a general manager at the time. I had to fire him. We had to fire the marketing company. Kind of had to restructure everything. I, at the same time, and you'll kind of find this too, I'm not sure how old most of you are, but you'll find as your business starts to grow and as you get older, you start running into life stuff. right? So I started my business, I was like 28 or 29. And then all of a sudden I was getting married and I had kids and I want to buy a house and all that stuff. And you need money for that stuff, right? You need money to do it. And then at the time I was not balancing everything right. So at the time I was building a family, buying a home, and my stress was mounting. It was a terrible, I wouldn't say terrible because it was a lot of lessons I learned, but it was a tough time. I had a health scare at the same time. I had a health scare. I had got a blood panel done, and I had a super, super high CRP, which is called C-reactive protein, which is the level of inflammation in your blood. And I was just, the doctor was like, "What the hell are you doing to yourself?" Right? And I was just like, it was like off the charts, off the charts. And he's like, "Dude, if you keep going like this, you're not gonna do too well in life." And so that was like an opening point. And so I knew that I need to change something. I knew that I need to do something different. And the first thing I knew I needed to do is I needed to take full ownership over the marketing sales, because I knew the problem was I didn't have this predictable, reliable source for business. I knew I was good at getting these spikes, but I didn't have this predictable, reliable inflow of new business. And I knew I needed to take over the marketing and the sales for my business. So that was the first step. I decided to study a specific type of marketing. Okay, I was kind of into the branding side of it when I started. I wanted to get my name out there, right? Get my logo and get the, all the stuff and all the banners and all things like that. And I decided to study a different form of marketing called direct response marketing, which we'll talk about more today. I got crystal clear on one target market and became the best gym in our area for that market. One of the big problems that I had when I started, okay, was this focus on, I had athletes and I had clients and I had ACL post rehab and I had all these different things going on. And I was for everybody. And when you're for everybody, you're for no one, which we'll talk more about that. But I decided to make a decision that we're going to focus on one target market. And that was a huge thing. And I changed my thinking. I changed my thinking from marketing from an expense to an investment, right? It used to pain me to spend money on marketing, pain me. And now I look at it, marketing is essentially arithmetic. If I spend X, if I spend $500 and I know a client is worth $5,000, how many times am I willing to spend that $500? Well, now all day long and twice on Sunday. But I didn't used to think like that. So a lot of this is a mindset shift. I built a marketing system into my business using multiple sources, follow-up and conversion, which we'll talk about today. We raised our prices, and I think that's a huge problem as people are not charging enough money. And because of this, we grew from 150 adult members to 300 adult members and increased revenue by 500K in a very short amount of time. Amount of time. And this growth, because when you go to 300 members, you have this much more stable base of revenue. It wiped away our August woes because we didn't have these ebbs and flows. So it was a huge stress off me. And here's the test, right? So the test was in August 2017. And this is a picture of my dad, but in early August 2017, my dad had a stroke. And it totally incapacitated him, hit the left side of his brain, which controls the right side of his body. And he, emergency brain surgery, emergency heart surgery. It was like an awful, awful situation. And this is the beginning of August. And I'm like, oh man, August. And so I ended up not going to my gym for the entire month. I literally was driving to New York City every day to be with my mom, to be with my sisters, to just take care of this situation. Again, there was nothing for me to take care of, but I just wanted to be there with my family. And I get there and I'm like, I'm thinking, what the hell is going to happen to my business? And I get there mid-September and I get the financials. And my buddy Mike, who runs our financials, he's like, dude, you guys crushed it in August. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, you had the best August that you've ever had in the history of your company. And I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't even there. He's like, yeah, I know. So it's like the system finally, told me that it's working. And a tragic situation. And again, I'm not going to say this to make you feel bad for me, but it's a terrible situation. My dad's alive, but he's not able to talk. He's not able to walk. It's still a terrible situation. But in reality, I looked at it was a sign. It was like my dad was saying that, hey, your business is good. Your gym is good. You can go off and do something different. And that was the moment that I decided to become a consultant. That was 2 years ago, where I said full-time, I'm going to do full-time consulting, and my gym is good to go, and I got people in there that are going to run it. And this was the test for me that said, I got to teach this. I got to teach this. I got to go out and I got to show people how to do this in their own gym, because I want you guys that are watching this to be out of your business for a month on vacation with your family, right? Not going into New York City every day taking care of your sick father. I want you guys to go on vacation and realize that you can create something really great that runs without you having to push it down the field all the time. And it really starts a lot with your marketing. Okay? So today, my gym currently generates about $130,000 a month and runs without me in the day-to-day. Okay, and I'll be quite honest with you, I have not trained a session in about many years. I have this beautiful new facility. I've never worked a minute in it. And I do still do marketing help at the gym. I do still, lead the team and stuff like that. But most of my time is spent doing this stuff with you guys. And it's because a lot of this is because of the marketing and sales system that we have in place. But it's not just me. This is one of our mastermind members, a guy that I've coached for almost 6 years. He went from $33,000 a month to $55K a month in recurring revenue, and now has his third kid on the way and has his second gym opening and is looking to open his third gym. But you'll hear many more stories about the clients that I've helped be successful. I'm not just coming to you as a consultant that tells you that I've had success myself. I've been able to help others do this same stuff. Okay. So the meat of our presentation today is the 5 pillars of marketing. Here's what we're going to unpack. 1, how you can get the right clients that are going to pay you the most money so you can have the most profitable gym. 2, we're going to go through your marketing message. 3, we're going to go through the marketing tactics. Okay, so the marketing tactics are, your Facebook ads and all the stuff that, people are trying to sell you all the time. And know that this stuff is important, but in reality, it's really, it's really just a piece of the puzzle, not the puzzle. And most people are leading you to believe that it's the puzzle. I'm going to talk about your scoreboard. This is a great way to wipe your stress away when you know what's going on in your business. And then the 5th part is, how do you actually put this into a system, right? So the marketing system, how do you take all this stuff and how you implement it into a full system? So let's get started. So number 1 is getting the right clients. And the first point is, when you're for everyone, you're for no one. And I kind of touched on this earlier, and I said, hey, we trained youth athletes, we trained high school athletes, we trained sports teams, we trained adults, we trained post-rehab ACL, we trained senior citizens. We did everything, right? And there was no way for me to market my business ever, because I just did so many different things that there was no way to get the right message out there. Because when you have all these different target markets that you're going after, all of these different markets need different messages, right? So the post-rehab ACL kid needs a different message than the mom that's 40 years old that wants to lose fat. And that was the biggest problem that I had. So one of the things you need to gonna start doing is deciding, right? Is who are you going to be the hero to, all right? And the business that becomes the best gym for their target market will win, okay? You see a lot of this stuff about the best gyms in America, right? The Men's Health top 10 gyms, and I have friends that are on that stuff, and that's great, right? They do a good job. But like, how do they actually pick that stuff? And here's the thing. Here's what I want you to know, and I want you to walk away with today, is that you can become the best gym in the world. You can become the best gym in the world if you align your gym with a very specific person and build your system perfectly for that person. You'll become the best gym in the world for the people that live 15 minutes away from you and want to do that. So take, for example, let's say you're training people over 50, right? And you're training people over 50, and the things you're saying to the people over 50 are getting them to shake their head. The way that you've structured your programs are perfect for people over 50. The way you hire your trainers are perfect for the people over 50. The way you educate them and give them advice on their nutrition and make it simple are perfect for people over 50. that is a way that you're going to be able to win in business. We can start narrowing it down and creating this very primary focus of who you want to be the hero to. And failure to make this decision will dramatically reduce your success. And I think a lot of us make this mistake in the beginning because in the beginning we're just trying to make it work, right? And we call it the mirror test. If someone breathes on a mirror and they fog it up, that they become our client. And in reality, that just it works in the beginning, but if we keep going like that, it throws us out on this wild goose chase, and it never allows you to develop a really good marketing system because you just have too many things to market. Okay, and none of what you're saying is resonating with anyone because you're like shotgunning everything out there. Okay, so what do you need to do to select your perfect client? Okay, the first thing you need to do is, does this market have the money to support your business goals? Okay, does this market have the money to support your business goals? If you want to train 23-year-old college kids or kids that just got out of college because you like the fact that they're young and they're healthy and they're motivated and they're this and that, that's fine. But just know that usually they're broke. And usually they're still, on their parents' insurance, and usually they just got a job if they can find a job. These days, kids can't even find a job when they come out of college. But know that if that's your market, that it's going to be really hard for them to support you because they probably don't have the money. Okay? So that's the first thing is, does your target market actually have the finances to be able to support how much money you want to make? Now, here's the thing. If you want to make, $20,000 a year in personal income, and you really want to train 23-year-olds, then fine. Then that supports your goals. But in reality, if you want to make some money, you want to be able to support a family, and you want to be able to grow something that lasts beyond you, you're probably going to need to pick a market that's going to be able to support you financially. The second thing is, will they be consistent, right? So it's not just can they pay you, but can they pay you consistently? And think of it like when I used to train pro athletes. I've trained some of the best pro athletes, in the world at times in my career. Right? And I used to train them. But here's the thing. It was great. And they paid me a lot of money, but they paid me for 4 weeks out of the year. Right? So if I average it out over the course of a year, they paid me next to nothing. So will they be consistent? Will they be consistent? Will they come to you 3 times a week for 12 months and stay for 3 years? And the last thing is, do you want to help them? Do you want to help them? So let's say you have a market that you really, is going to support you. You're picking like senior citizens, right? And they're 80-year-old people and they got the money. They can come every day. They got all the time in the world, but you just despise it. Well, that's not a good market for you either. There's got to be some desire to want to help that market. And I will tell you this does tend to change, okay? So when I started, I was really focused. I really wanted to help middle school and high school athletes when I started. But now, like I just turned 40, and I am much more passionate now by helping a 45-year-old dude get in shape than I am about a 12-year-old middle school kid, right? Now, we still train both, and I'll talk about how you can do that in a second. But the reality is that it can change as you grow, and usually people relate to, plus or minus 10 years. So if you're like 50 right now, you're probably resonating mostly with people 60 and 40 if you're there. If you're 22, it may be harder for you to relate to some of these older people, but that doesn't mean you can't train them. But the reality is, do they have the money? Will they be consistent? And do you actually want and desire to help this target market? So you got to decide on one primary market, okay? And I believe that you need to do this not that you need to only have one market, but I think you need to decide on one that is going to be what you're going to build your business around. So if you were to walk into my facility today, you won't see any helmets. You won't see any jerseys on the wall. You won't see any of this. You will see a gym that's perfectly designed for people 40 to 60. And that is what we do. And that is what we focus on. Now, we do have a small percentage of our business where we do train athletes. But in reality, 80% of our focus goes to this one primary market so we can become the best in that market. You got to know everything about them. You got to know everything about them. So if your market is women that are 40 years old, you must know everything about them. You must know where they live and how they live and what they read and what they buy and what they're doing outside of there and what restaurants they go to. You must become an expert in your target market. And the best way you can do that is to create an avatar. Okay? So here's ours. Ours is Frustrated Frank, right? And Frustrated Frank he's a 50-year-old lawyer. He's got 2 kids. He commutes to New York City every day. He sits at his desk for 10 hours a day. His stress level is over his ears. He is he's financially successful, so he's doing very well, but he does very little time. And he used to be in good shape, and now he's not, and he's secretly really, really frustrated about his health. And he's almost honestly a little scared because he realizes that he's eating like crap, he's not exercising, and his kids are starting to see him get fatter, and his pants are getting tighter, and his sex drive is down, and all these things are becoming a problem for him. So what did I just do? I just rattled off the top of my head the exact person that we're trying to get in our gym. And when you can start knowing your target market as well as this, you are going to start attracting these people into your gym. And you really got to almost think about whatever thing you put out there in your marketing, whether it's a Facebook ad, whether it's an email, it should be with one specific avatar in mind. And one of the greatest tips I can give you in an email, if you're writing an email, write it to one person. Write it to one person and really focus and dial in. But you need to create your Frustrated Frank. You need to sit down and think, who am I writing to? Who am I marketing to? Who do I want to get into my gym? And what are the things that I need to learn about this person to get him shaking his head, all right, and saying, yep, I got to get there to that place. And a lot of it is your message, okay? And that's the second part. So before is we need to pick the right people to market to, right? You need to pick the right people to market to. The second thing is, what are we saying to them? What are we saying to them that's going to get them shaking their head and saying it? Most marketing doesn't work because it promotes who you are and what you do. A lot of times people think it's the product, right? A lot of times people think it's the small group training, or it's the large group, or it's the ratio, or it's the equipment. It's not that. It's not that. It's not about that, because people at the end of the day, they don't care about that stuff. They care about what can you do for them? What's in it for me? That's what they care about. And if your marketing is all about the functions of what you do, you're going to be missing the boat, because you will never emotionally connect with someone on a Facebook ad, on an email, on a phone call, or anything like that if you're talking about features of your program. It's always got to focus on the number one thing you need to do to have a good, clear marketing message is to be focusing on solving problems. That is it. If you can become the best gym at your area at identifying and solving the problems of your target market, you will not want for nothing. You will have all the clients that you can handle, because you will be able to speak to them in a way that will just attract them to your business. And it attracts them because they will saying the words, this is for me. This guy knows what I'm talking. This guy knows what I'm going through. This guy knows that I have challenges and problems that he can solve. So that is it. That's the best marketing lesson I could ever give you right now is, can you identify the problems that your client has? And usually there's not a ton of them, all right? Maybe there's only 3 to 4. But if you can identify those 3 to 4 problems, and you can speak about those problems in your emails, in your Facebook posts, in your ads and everything like that, and you can speak about those 3 to 4 problems, you are going to start attracting the right people to your company. Okay. So when your message is right, I've said this before, that people will start shaking their head and say, this is for me. This is for me. They'll say things like, this gym understands me better than anyone else. Okay. They'll start saying things like, I want the Kathy Balsamo plan. Well, Kathy Balsamo was a client of ours at GFP. And we put her on video. And we put her on video once a week. And she just told her story. She just shared with the community about how she was struggling and how she had challenges and problems. And she was just a normal person, a normal woman that lost about 80 pounds with us. and had tremendous results, but was getting her message out there in the community through our channel, right? She was using our gym, but we were using essentially her to talk about what we do and to talk about the results she's gotten. And all of a sudden we had this huge influx of people saying, hey, just give me the Kathy Balsamo plan. Just do what you did for Kathy Balsamo. Because now what they were doing is they were hearing about someone that had success that was just like them. And they wanted those same results. They wanted that type of plan. And this is how you can start charging more money. Right? How are you going to charge more money if all of a sudden the gym down the street does 20 people in a group, and now you do 20 people in a group? What's going to be the thing that's going to allow you to charge more money? Well, someone that comes in and sits down and said, I want what I heard about from Kathy, or I want what I heard about in your email. Okay, I've had people send me emails back saying, hey, were you in my kitchen the other day? Because what you were talking about was exactly the same thing that was going on in my kitchen. If you can learn how to enter the conversation that's going on inside the minds of your customers, you will win. I'm going to say that again, and I want you to write that down. If you can learn to enter the conversations that are going on in the minds of your customers, you will want for nothing. Okay? Now, what I told you, I'm not teaching you a Facebook ad, right? I'm not teaching you a tactic. I'm teaching you a strategy. And strategy will make you money in the long haul. Okay? So that's what I'm about. That's like, I'm a teacher. I'm a coach, just like you, right? I'm a coach. I've just gone from coaching clients to lose weight to coaching gym owners, right? So that's what I'm going to teach you. All right? And can that you learn that overnight? No, you can't. Right? This takes time. This takes effort. This intensity. So I'm not gonna lie to you and say that this is an easy thing to do. But in reality, if you can figure out how to enter the minds that are the conversations going on in your client's head, you will want for nothing. Great way to do it is something called a USP. Okay, USP. A USP is called a unique selling proposition. Okay, and this is ours at Gabriel Fitness. So we help people aged 40 plus lose weight, gain energy, and add more life to their years without the use of fad diets and workouts that beat up their body. And it's funny because a lot of the guys in my mastermind have used this exact USP, which I'm fine with. All right, hey, they're in my mastermind, but I have seen, boatloads of other people that are not in my mastermind that totally have taken this exact phrase and just copied it. So, I'm going to give you the formula, but they'll take this exact phrase and copy it. Be creative and do it on your own. But this is it. This is just saying, who you help and what you help them do and how you're going to help them do it without stuff they don't want. So here's the formula. We help enter your target market, do this benefit without, call it the stuff your market doesn't want to be a part of. My market doesn't want the fad diets. My market doesn't want to get hurt. They don't want CrossFit because, and again, nothing against CrossFit, but they don't want to be hurt more. They don't want more shoulder pain. They don't want more wrist pain. They're not 22 years old anymore. They want someone to know that their body is not, I don't want to say frail, but they need to be looked out for. Okay, and that's kind of what we're doing. So this is the formula, one of the most powerful statements that you can create for your business. I'll give you a second to write that down. Okay, great. All right, we're rolling. Okay, so part of the message, right? Part of the message is the offer, right? Is the offer. This is how most people make an offer. It's their name, it's the business card, it's the address, it's the phone number. And this is not an offer. This is branding. This is not marketing. And this is how a lot of people are putting their stuff out. They take their business cards and they put them in the stores and they think that people are going to call. Bullshit. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. This is an absolute waste of paper. It's not going to create results for you. So you got to understand and learn how to make good offers. So let me give you an example of a good offer. When I was about 10 years old, there was a company that came out with these ads in magazines called BMG. And I'm not sure how old you guys are in this thing, but if you're over 30, you probably know what CDs are. And your CD collection was a big deal, right? These things were $20 a pop. You go to the Sam Goody, and you go to the record store and you buy them, and they were $20 a pop. And all of a sudden, this ad came out for 12 CDs for 1 penny, and you're like, "Holy shit, 12 CDs for a penny? Yes, that's I want that, of course." And then all of a sudden, I started getting notices from collection agencies, and they started saying things like these black and white envelopes and saying, you'll be taken to court and stuff. And my mom starts reading this. She's like, "Why are you getting all these letters?" And the fine print of this ad said, "Hey, if you do not buy 6 of the 12 at full price at like $80 a CD or something like that crazy, you're going to prison." So that's kind of what happened. But the reality is, and I'm not telling you to bait and switch. Some people in the fitness industry have taken the same strategy, but I'm not telling you to do a bait and switch. But in reality, 12 CDs for 1 cent is a really, really compelling offer. It's a really, really good offer. And that's what you need to be putting out there. When you send an email, when you do a Facebook ad, when you put an ad out in the newspaper or magazine or whatever, it needs to be a compelling offer. And you need to get people to say, "I want that. 12 CDs for 1 cent? Yeah, sign me up. Yep, I want that." Definitely. So that's the first part about your offer. And this is part of your marketing message. Right? So your marketing message is, the combination of what are you saying to your clients that gets them to start shaking their head. And then does the offer get them to say, "Yeah, I want that. I'm going to take action on that." So those are kind of the 2 parts of your message. And a lot of people ask about free, like, should you use free? And here's the thing. I'm going to tell you that free is really, really great. Okay. There was a study done between 2 different types of candy on a college campus. And they had a Lindt truffle, which is like a high-end piece of candy, and it was like 60 cents for a little piece of candy. And then they also compared it with a Hershey Kiss. And the Hershey Kiss was like, all right, a penny, something like that, like really cheap. And they put these on sale at a college campus, and they sold the truffle, the Lindt truffle, for 15 cents, which is a good deal. And they put these Hershey Kiss on for sale for a penny. So 15 cents versus a penny. And 80% of the people took, and again, don't quote me on the exact things, it was big. 80% of the people took the truffle. They paid 15 cents instead of the penny. Okay? And so, all right, it was clear that people liked the truffle. Now, they moved them both down to a penny. So they moved the truffle down to 14 cents from 15 to 14. And then they took the Hershey Kiss and they made it 0, right? They went from a penny to 0. Because what's the difference, right? Totally switched. Right? It went from 80% people took the Hershey Kiss because it was free. So just know this, free offers will increase your volume, right? Now, there are times and places to do free offers. I don't like doing free offers on Facebook because I think you're going to get a lot of crap and a lot of garbage. I will do free offers for referrals all day long and twice on Sunday. I give out free 30-day trial memberships cards, black metal cards, to my clients like hotcakes. Free. Yeah. Have them come in free, totally for the month, because I know that those clients are probably going to send me really, really good people. Right? So just know free is a great tool. There's a certain time to use it and a certain place to use it. But it's important for you guys to know that free is a very powerful strategy in terms of generating leads. It just needs to be done in the right place. Okay? So offers. I talked about 6-week challenges. It's like, should you stop doing 6-week challenges? No, you shouldn't, because I've had people make, we made $100,000 on a 6-week challenge last year. Okay, it's like they're great. They're great to do. They're just not good to do every minute of the day, and that's the challenge. And that's what people are leading you to believe: is stop doing this and start doing this. No, there's a balance to all this. So take advantage of September. Run some kind of a short-term challenge, because you know why? You know why you should do it? Because people are human beings. And people go away in the summertime and they get all fat because they go on vacation and they go to these different things, and they need something. Right? They need something that's going to punch it back up, right? And that's why a 6-week challenge is good in that time. Okay, and then you bring it down. And evergreen is essentially, what are you doing? What is your offer that's kind of your line in the water all the time? It's whatever you want to do. It's a free session. It's a 15-day trial. It's a 30-day trial. So whatever it is, doesn't matter. Okay, but something should be running. And then from January to February, you can run a challenge or a sweepstakes, which I'll talk about today. And then you go back to Evergreen, and then you run something in the spring and the Evergreen. It's just a really good balance, and it's a really good offer track to be able to follow. Hopefully that kind of just eliminates all the bullshit that you're hearing and just say, all right, if you can follow something like this, it's probably going to give you a lot of certainty on what to do. It's going to help you with your marketing plan and strategy and all that. And don't listen to all the crap of what people are telling you. Okay. All right. So number 3 is the tactics. The tactics. So the first 2 things, the client of who you're we're talking about strategy here, right? We're talking about marketing strategy, and that's what most people don't have. Most people don't have a strategy. And this is where people live. They live in the tactical. They want to give you this specific challenge, and they want to give you this specific ad, or they want you to focus on this specific, marketing media like Instagram or Facebook. And the reality is, when you focus on only on the tactics side of it, only on the tactical side, when you focus on, just with this one thing, it's the equivalent of building a house without an architect or a contractor, right? So let's just say you got a plot of land, right? And you got, all the shit that you need to build a house, right? You got the cement, you got the stuff for the walls, you got the roof, you got the windows, you got the doors, and all this just thrown into a big pile. And now you just start building a house, right? Well, it's probably going to be a much more efficient house if there's an architect comes in and says, hey, I'm going to draw this blueprint, right? And we're going to, all of a sudden, we're going to write this, and I'm going to communicate with the contractor, and we're going to work together and build this plan. Okay, but that's what most people are not doing. Most people are not doing, and this is like a dangerous thing to be doing, is focusing all on the tactical side of things and not stepping back and looking at the strategy. Okay, but this stuff needs to be talked about. But here's the big problem. The big problem is that gyms are relying on one way. They're relying on one tactic. And it's usually depending on a third party, right? Because you've got these marketing agencies that are over there, like, let me run your ads, let me do this, let me do that. And they give you one thing to do. They run an ad on Facebook for you. And that's all you do for your marketing. And all of a sudden, when that shit dries up and that stuff starts working, all of a sudden, you don't know where to go. You don't know what to turn. And I have been on the phone with gobs of panicked gym owners lately that have been spooked by this, that they don't know what to do next because they've relied on this third party. They've relied on this one strategy that's not working anymore. And they're frustrated about because they don't know what to do. And this is a really, really big problem. And this is another ludicrous thing, is these marketing companies that are telling you, hey, we'll do the marketing and so you can continue doing what you love. Training 60 sessions a week. Is that really what you want? Is that really what gym owners want? To just continue to work in the business and not exercise your skill as a business owner and entrepreneur. And here's the thing, maybe that is you. And just know that if you ever have a family one day and you want to go out and see your kids' games, you want to do that, well, you won't be able to do that stuff, right? You'll be stuck working 60 hours a week and never see your family. And that's what's going to happen if you do not learn how to control this stuff yourself. This is your job, right? This is your job. The owner of the business must know enough to control the marketing of the business. That doesn't mean you have to do everything, and that doesn't mean you have to run the ads or anything like that, but you must know enough to control. And that is a big theme I'm going to talk about today, is control. It's that you have to exercise control over your business. And if you don't exercise control over your business, everyone else will. The economy, your competition, all the people, the vendors that are trying to get your business, they will be exercising the control. But when you understand the marketing side of your business, you exercise the control. Because of all functions of your business, this is the most important, right? Because I'm willing to bet that most of you naturally do a great job with your client experience. I'm willing to bet that you're not here saying, hey, I'm bleeding members, I'm bleeding clients, people hate my gym, it sucks, they don't like coming, they never come back. I'm willing to bet none of you on this webinar are saying that, all right? But I am willing to bet that a lot of you, maybe don't understand the marketing side of things as good as you should. And that's why I'm really glad you're here. So what do you need to do to prevent this one-trick pony marketing plan? right? To prevent having this one thing that you're relying on and you're putting all of your stakes into this, and if this dries up, that you're screwed. Well, it's to create something that I invented called the marketing glove. It's something that I invented. And think about a glove, and you drop a bunch of stuff on the ground, right? And go and try and pick all that stuff up with one finger, right? And then put on a nice sticky receiver glove and go ahead and pick a bunch of those things up off the ground. You're going to pick up many more things. So the marketing glove is a tool to help you have several ways to generate leads working at once. That's what it is. And it gives your business strength and stability. It reduces risk. I'll say this, if you're relying on one way, and if it's whatever it is, if it's referrals, if it's Facebook ads or whatever it is, you're putting yourself in a risky position. If that one thing dries up, everything is going to slow down. And the one thing inevitable in all this is that you'll lose clients. Okay, you'll lose clients. There's a natural progression of people going on hold and then terminating. There's a natural progression of people moving away. There's a natural progression of people, hell, I've had clients that have died. We just had a client that passed away. And there's nothing, things that you can't control. But if you're not doing enough to control the inflow, and you're not doing at least with your marketing a good enough job to fill the people that you've lost, you'll always stay the same. If anything, shrink. It's going to speed up your growth, and it's going to bring your competition to you their knees, because they're going to be like, how the heck are you actually doing all this stuff? Okay. So here's a sample glove. Again, I'm not knocking Facebook ads. I just knock it if that's what you rely on, right? I knock it if all of a sudden this stopped working, that your business would just dry up. So I use Facebook ads myself. Many of you got here on a Facebook ad, so I do believe that they do work. Right? And that you should be advertising on Facebook. So I'm not here to say this, but the reality is if you just rely on this, you're going to be putting yourself in a challenging spot. Another finger of the glove, and we call them fingers of the glove, the 5 fingers, email and social media. Are you leveraging and using email? Okay, so many people are not, and it's crazy to me how many people are not using email to be able to be a viable source to generate new business. Do you have a system for referrals? Are you going out there and creating joint ventures and relationships in your community? Do you have a website that's optimized? And are you leveraging the most powerful search engine in the world, aka Google? All right. But this is all stuff. If you have these, think of your business and how much stronger it would be if you had these 5 things growing, right? And you had the Facebook ad out, and you had your website optimized, and you had 3 different joint ventures that you were dealing with, and you had a referral machine that was consistently generating referrals, and you had a 3 times a week email that was going out with something called a super signature and a PS and a call to action. Think of how much stronger the marketing side of your business is going to be. You're going to grow much faster. So that's just kind of a sample a tool, but my guys swear by it. My mastermind members, they talk about their glove all the time. All the time they're talking about what's in their glove, what's in their glove, what's in their glove. And if someone's slow, well, my first question is, well, what's in the glove right now? Because I know they have the strategy in place because I've taught them all that. Okay, but sometimes they lose sight of they maybe drop the ball and they only have 2 things going. And there's not a magic to 5. 5 is just kind of the signature of a glove and 5 fingers. If you have 6, great. If you have 4, if you're doing 1 right now, just get to 2. Okay, but no, if you're at 1, if you're at 0, you got to get to 1. If you're at 0, you got to get to 1. Okay, so I guess the worst number in marketing is not 1, it's 0. But the marketing glove will change a lot of your mindset for how you should be doing it. Okay, I'm going to give you some ideas to get a cash search in August, because I promised that I would do that. So I'm going to talk to you a lot about strategy today. I'm going to talk about a lot of the big picture stuff, but I do want to give you some ideas that you can crank it up in August. Okay, so your former members, all of you have them, people that used to be clients of yours, all of you have them. If you're new in business, you don't have that many. If you've been in business for over a decade like me, you got tons of them. Okay, so here's the first idea. Text all your former members to come back for August on the house for free. Okay, here's what it looks like. Hey, Mike, hope you're doing awesome. We're just talking about how much we want to miss you at the gym and wanted to see if you'd like to come back and train with us for the month of August for free. Would you like to get cranking again? Well, I will tell you this. There are a lot of people. Know this. People did not leave your gym because you guys sucked. All right. People did not leave your gym because you were yelling and screaming and saying, get the heck out of my gym. I never want you to come back. People left because life gets in the way. People left, most people leave because life gets in the way. And I know that there are people in your gym that are simply waiting for you to call them. And I know, here's the thing, I know this because I'm on the other end of this. And I used to go to yoga, and I don't go to yoga anymore. And I still want to go to yoga. But I just stopped because I just got busy. And if they called me and said, hey, we're doing a thing, we just come back for a month for free for yoga, just come back. We want to get you back in the door. I would go in a heartbeat. I would make the time. So there are people out there, and your former members are a great place. In the summertime is a great place to do it because you're usually a little slower. Maybe you have more capacity in the summertime. But there are tons of people out there that are for your former clients that are your most qualified. They're the most qualified people you have. You have their phone number, you have their email, you have their address, you probably know their kids, you know everything about them. They're the most qualified people you have, and they've proven that they have the money to afford what you do. Sometimes all the thing that's standing in the way is a question, right? Reaching out and asking them, right? So that's your first one. Hopefully you take action on that. Here's another one. Send this email to your list at the end of July. Okay, so you have a full email list. You have people on your email list of, former members. You have prospects that maybe never converted. You have, all kinds of people on your email list. Hopefully. The subject is their first name. So John. Hey, John. Hey, John. We're opening up 10 spots for people that want to lose 10 to 15 pounds in August. Would you like to learn more? Right. Now you can copy and paste this, or you can change it up, or you can tweak it however you want. But the reality is this works pretty damn good. Because what you're doing is you're getting a conversation started. And you're going to get a lot of people that are going to respond and say, would you like to learn more? And they'll say yes. And then you'll respond, and they may not say anything. But you know what? You only need a few people. You only need a few people to make this work. All of a sudden, you have 5 people that come in, and all of a sudden they do this. And really, 10 spots is like you put them into your regular program. We just put people right into our $99 jumpstart. Right? And just see where it goes. But what you're doing is we're opening up 10 spots, so there's a scarcity side of it. We've linked it with a goal, right? Want to lose 5 to 15 pounds, because who doesn't want to lose 5 to 50 pounds after they've packed on 5 to 15 pounds and all the barbecues and graduations that they've gone to? And then you're following up with a question: would you like to learn more? Would you like to learn more? Okay, so that's the first 3 things. So we talked about your target market. We talked about your message. We talked about the tactics and what tactics you should be doing and how to utilize a marketing glove. Okay, now, if you're not keeping score, right? If you're not keeping score of this stuff, it is like you are running your business blind. This could be one of the most powerful things I'm going to share with you today. Here's the thing. Most of the thing, it comes back to, how do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel stressed? Well, most of us feel stressed because we're uncertain. We're uncertain. And we're uncertain because we just don't know what's going on. Imagine you playing a football game and there being no scoreboard. Imagine that. Imagine there's no clock. There's no points on the board. There's no telling you how many timeouts you had. There's nothing. Okay, how frustrating would that be? Okay, the number one thing you need to do to ease your frustration is to give you the data that tells you if you're winning or losing. You need a scoreboard in business. You need to know if you're winning or losing. Most people get anxiety about marketing because they have no idea where the problem is. Where the problem is. You could possibly not have a lead flow problem. You could possibly have a conversion problem. You could possibly have a nurture problem. You could probably have a pricing problem. Okay? You don't know. You don't know. And if you're not keeping track, you'll never know. Knowing the issue gives you control and tells you what to focus on. That is like a gift from God. Imagine if someone could tell you what to focus on every day. That is like one of the biggest questions I get from entrepreneurs. I just don't know what to focus on. I just don't know what to focus on. Well, the scoreboard gives you what to focus on. The scoreboard tells you what to do. It's an amazing thing. It's like you drove your car here, right? Not having a scoreboard is like you drove your car and it didn't tell you how fast you're going. It didn't tell you how much gas you had. It didn't tell you what about the oil or anything like that. It was just a black screen right in front of you. You'd be uncertain, right? It's the same thing like flying a plane. without a dashboard. Cockpit's not going to have a good ride. Neither will you. So here's how to wipe your stress away. You need to decide and commit. What do you want to accomplish? Where do you want your business to be? What does success look like to you? If you don't define that, you will never be able to tell yourself if you're winning or losing. So you got to decide and commit. Decide what do you want your business to look like, and then make that commitment. All right. So I'm going to make the commitment for you and just give you an example. Okay. How do we go from 80 to 160 members? How do we go from 80 to 160 members in 12 months? So let's just say that's the decision. Let's say you're sitting here and you got 80 clients right now. Right? You got 80 clients. And you want to get to 160 in 12 months. That would be like a dream come true for you if you got 160 members in a year. All right. Well, I'm going to unpack exactly how to do it. All right. So in order to get from 80 to 160, you need 80 members. Okay. You need 80 members. All right. So 80 divided by 12 is 7 members a month. 7 members a month. That would be like over 12 months. So you got to factor that you're going to lose a few people, right? Everyone's going to lose clients. Like I said before, people die, people go away, people blah, 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 blah. So you're going to factor you're going to lose 2 members. The way I get 2 is you just take 80, what you start with, and you multiply it by 3%. Okay, and that gives about two members a month. So you need 9. You need 9 net new members a month. Okay, to go from 80 to 160. You need 18 people to try your gym every month. So if we just take that 9 and we multiply it by 2 at a roughly 50% conversion, we want 18 people to try it out. 18 people to do a free session, to do a trial, to do something. You need 18 people. And how do you get those 18 people to try it? Well, you need 36 people that are interested. Okay? So that is your monthly, if you could look at this on a monthly basis, in order to go from 80 to 160 in 12 months, every month you need to do 36 leads, you need to get 18 people to try it, and you need 9 net new members a month. Okay? That is your business plan. And the key in a good scoreboard is breaking this down on a weekly basis. Okay, so here's what this would look like. This is a sample scorecard. So our goal is 9 leads, because this is broken down. If you just take 36, 18, and 9, and divide each of those numbers by 4 weeks in the month, your weekly scoreboard, okay, is 942. 942. 9 leads, 4 trials, 2 contracts. And your actual is what it was. So you sit down on a Monday and you look at how you did last week. This is where you know what to do. So if this was the actual, right, and you have a goal of 9 leads to get to that 160 clients, and you only got 3, well, know that it ain't happening. It ain't happening, and you're gonna need to scratch and claw and find a way to get from that 3 to 9, and that becomes your priority. That becomes your focus, and it's a very liberating feeling to know what you should be focusing on. So this is just like a sample, a scoreboard. So your weekly business plan turns into 942. 942, 942. If you can become obsessed with 942, you will take your business from 80 to 160 members. If you can make that an obsession. Now, does this happen every time? No. I realize there's ebbs and flows and there's things like that, but at the end of the day, it should balance out over the course of the year to 942. It's your weekly business plan. Those are the 3 numbers in terms of your growth that you should be focused on the most. Well, here's a guy that did this exact thing, and he didn't do it in 12 months. He did it in 6 months. Okay, this is Eric Driver. He's one of our top mastermind members. He's a founding member. He's been in the group for 2 years. And when he started, he was looking for a way out of the fitness industry. He was in the process of interviewing for different jobs because he was ready to sell his gym, or not even sell it, just give it up and stop. He joined the mastermind, and we made him make a bunch of these changes, and he just lit his business on fire. And he went from 80 to 160 clients in 6 months. Okay, this is a real testimonial. Okay, that's a happy man right there. And this is a picture of him right before our Orlando mastermind meeting, where he brought his family. The meeting's on a Thursday, Friday. He brought his family down on Sunday and stayed with them from Sunday to Thursday. And then they went home, and he stayed for the mastermind meeting. He took his family on a vacation and he went from, wanting to quit the fitness industry to allowing his gym to pay for a vacation that he went on with his family while his gym continued to run and grow. Right? So this is a very possible thing, and it was his commitment to his scoreboard. It's his commitment to really focusing on the marketing side of his business. It was his commitment to a better pricing structure, which we'll talk about. But all this stuff is very, very possible. So going from 80 into 160 is like in 12 months is like if you charge $200 a month. Right? You'll do 192K at 80, but you'll do 384K. All right, 384K is a better life for your family. 384K gives you more stability. It allows you to start saving money. It allows you to, start, putting money into 529 funds and IRAs and all that stuff. Whereas 192, you're just getting by. 192K, you're just getting by. And a lot of it takes is just this militant commitment. To focus on this plan. The start of this is all just knowing. It's knowing what you need to do. All right, it's getting focused, and the definition of focus is. Steve Jobs said, "I was just as proud of what we didn't do at Apple as what we did." So the definition of focus is: what are you not going to do? What are you going to stop doing? Okay, and what are you going to start doing that's going to be productive and easy for your business? So this is the fifth part. Okay, the fifth part is, and the most important part is, this is with your marketing strategy. Okay, your marketing strategy, the system. And the system has three parts. Okay, three parts. There's an attraction system, there's a nurture system, and there's a conversion system. Okay, the attraction system is getting them to contact you. So this is your marketing, right? These are the tactics you're deploying. Your nurture system is getting them to come in after they make that first phone call, after they opt in. This is a huge part that's an overlooked component. And the conversion system is getting them to buy. Right? What is your pricing system like? How are you talking to clients in the sales process? This is really the system. It includes these three things. So marketing is just not about Facebook ads. Marketing is about leveraging and maximizing these three systems. Okay, so your attraction system. These are the tactics. So we talked a lot about tactics, and again, once you take the strategy of your target market and your message, these are the tactics that you're using to get someone to raise their hand and say, "I'm interested." The biggest mistake here is not using multiple methods. The biggest mistake in your attraction system is relying on one source to get clients. So I'm going to go over a bunch of them with you. And here's the thing. This is probably one of the most important ones, because most of the time when I ask people how they get most of their clients, new clients, not how they get most of their leads, but they get most of their new clients, they will say referrals. They will say referrals. And if I was to ask you, you'd probably say the same thing, referrals. I usually ask a follow-up question. It's like, how many of you have a sophisticated system to generate referrals? And nobody says yes. Nobody says yes. I just get referrals by accident. I do a good job and I get referrals. Part of what you're realizing you need to do is figure out what you're doing and figure out what's working well and putting gasoline on that fire. If you're getting referrals, then you should be focused on getting more referrals and putting systems in place to do it. I look at referrals as the thumb of the marketing glove. The thumb is the strongest finger of the hand. The thumb is the strongest finger of the hand. And the referral system, a predictable, reliable way to generate referrals, is the thumb of the marketing glove. So that's the first tactic, that you can employ in your attraction system. Facebook. Right? You should be using Facebook. You should be using social media to market your business. It's a shame if you're not. But the reality is, because it's the reason why I love Facebook. I hate it because of all the stuff out there about it. Right? I hate it because people think that's the only thing you need to do. I hate it because sometimes it's a pain in the ass. But in reality, it's simple, right? But you can put an ad out, and you can get people to respond immediately. It's the beautiful thing about direct response marketing, right? And all they have to do is click that apply now button, and they're in your world, right? Versus if you have to put an ad out in a magazine or newspaper, which you still should be doing as well. It's just different. It's this, and then Facebook does a great job of giving you metrics and data of how you can measure success. So you can go look and say, all right, how much money did I spend on Facebook? And then how many clients did I get in return? And sometimes you'll think like, we had a guy in our mastermind recently that was like frustrated with his Facebook. And he's like, the leads aren't coming in. They're just, they're dead leads, they're tire kickers. And I said, all right, how much did you spend last month on Facebook? And he was like, $1,000. I was like, how many clients did you get from those $1,000? He was like, 4. I said, what's the lifetime value of a customer for you? He said, $5,000. So I said, okay, so you mean to tell me that you spent $1,000 and you made 20 and you're upset about that? Sometimes you got to really think about it. You have to look at this as an investment. So yeah, are there going to be people that advertise on Facebook that come to you through Facebook that are going to be just not qualified? Yes, absolutely. Most of them probably won't be. But the reality is, if you can invest 1,000 and make 20, I'll do that all day long. Okay, so it's still a very good viable source to do it. You got to optimize your website. You got to optimize your website, especially these days in 2019, especially as platforms like Facebook are starting to slow down and not be as effective. All right, your website need to be optimized. Ask some of your older clients, if you train people in their 40s, 50s, and say, hey, if you were to come and look for a place like this, let's say you didn't come here, you've never been here before, and you wanted to get in shape, what would you do? And they would pull out they're like, I go to Google. That's what they would do. They're not going to Facebook. In Facebook, we're going to them. But if someone wants a personal trainer, and here's the thing too, and going back to that referral machine, if someone tells them about you, they're probably not going to call you right away. They're going to be like, hey, I heard Gabriel Fitness is really good. They're probably going to go to your website. They're probably going to Google you. They're going to Google your name. They're going to Google your gym name. That's where they're going to go. So your website needs to be optimized, and it needs to be optimized to convert, not to make people look pretty, not to make things look pretty, and not to say you have a cool website, but to say, what are you doing that converting the right amount of people that visit your website to actually take action to come into your door? Because that's what matters, not what the website looks like. Google Ads, largest search engine in the world, where most people go for business stuff, is probably a good place to market. Okay, I won't get into this too much. I'll kind of share with you an opportunity where you can get a really good Google Ad presentation that tells you a lot about this stuff. But hey, it's the largest search engine in the world. It's probably a good place to market. Email's dead. Don't use email. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's not dead. It's crazy the people that are saying this. It's crazy. There are people that build their entire business around email, and that's the one thing they use. And again, that's breaking the marketing glove rule. But the reality is email is not dead. And I had a question yesterday about email versus text message. Well, the answer is it's not one or the other. It's both. And it's how are you using them? So we filled a 6-week challenge with 22 people with email alone, no Facebook. 16 of the 22 signed up for a membership at $5,000 a piece. Do the math on that. 16 times $5,000 is lifetime value of those. All emails. So zero marketing cost on that. Your email is a tactic waiting to be deployed. You're not using. Grassroots, what are you doing to get out there? Right? Get out there in the community. And here's the thing, I'm talking to you as a gym owner. We still do this stuff. We go out to these stupid things and do these hokey things and connect with clients and stuff. It's important. You should be doing it. It's got to be part of what you're doing. This is a guy named Joe Hashi who's in our mastermind. Okay? He just got 80 new clients from a joint venture. 80 from a joint venture. Don't tell me you can't get a couple clients from a joint venture. He's got 80. These are the cards. This is a picture of the cards that he sent to all these people that signed up. It's lucrative the amount of money that you can make when you do this right. And he's doing a talk at our mastermind meeting in July about how to create these for our guys. So really cool stuff. Print advertising. Should you do it? Well, you should not do it if you're going to do it like turkey. You should not do it. Don't do it. Don't waste your money. If you're going to do branding on a cover of a magazine, do not waste your money. Okay, it will not work. If you're going to do direct response marketing, which is what you see on the right, which is mine, okay, that is a winning formula. All right, so you've got to apply the principles of direct response. You need a good headline. You need a good story. You need something for them to do. Okay, that is what's going to make this a viable source. So this is a $2,000 investment to be on the cover. And we got 60 or 70 leads that downloaded our free book, and then we got 4 clients from it. So do the math. $2,000 ad spend, $20,000 in sales. Okay, that's the way you got to start thinking of your marketing. So is print ad dead? No, print ad is dead with the turkey. All right, this ad on the left is as dead as that turkey. All right, didn't do anything for that business. You know that business too. It's a good place, but they're wasting their money. And then another one is the sweepstakes. And I'll talk about this more, but the sweepstakes is a massive, massive thing that can light your gym on fire. This is a guy running one right now. It's a marketing tactic that we kind of teach. We had 100 applications, a goal of 100 applications, and they had 50 in the first 4 hours. I think they're right now at 200. What we call middle of July, not bad. Middle of July. So maybe the sweepstakes is something good for you to do to set your July on fire. I know a lot of guys after seeing this are going to start doing it as well. Okay, so that was your attraction system, right? That's how you're going to get people to raise their hand and generate a lead, essentially. Okay, but then you need a nurture system, right? And the nurture system gets them from being interested to actually coming in for the first time, to take that first step. So this is a picture of a guy named Gary. He's not really named Gary, just a guy. But I took my wife to go get her oil change, and I drove my car up, and he's like, "Hey, dude, you need new tires." And I'm like, "All right," because I never look at my tires. But he's like, "You need new tires." I was like, "All right, send me a quote." So he sends me a quote, and I just ignore it because he called me up and he left me a voicemail. He didn't like email me or anything like that. And he called me and said, "Hey, this is Gary. I got your estimate. Call me back." And I didn't call him back. And I see him a month later when I was getting gas. He was like, "Hey," I was like, "Hey, Gary, do you still have that estimate?" And he was like, "No, I don't got that estimate." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "No, I don't got the estimate anymore." And I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "I threw it in the garbage." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, because you people," he's like, "you ask me for these estimates and then you don't call me back, you know, and then it pisses me off and I just get frustrated, so I threw it in the garbage." I was like, I was as qualified as you could get. I needed new tires. You know, I have like 3 car seats in the back, so I don't know. I want my new tires to keep my kids safe. And the guy didn't even like call me again. Like, well, what a thought. What a thought. What about calling me again? Here's what you got to know. Human beings are indecisive. All of you that are on this webinar, probably have things in an Amazon shopping cart that you have not bought yet. And maybe will never actually buy it. All of you have walked into a store and walked out and not. Some of you are going to be indecisive on this webinar. Right? I'm going to tell you about a really good program that's going to transform your business at the end, and some of you are going to be indecisive. And some of you will probably not buy today. And I'm going to be offering it today at a pretty good discount, but some of you will not buy today because you're just simply indecisive. And you'll end up paying more money when you sign up for it, you know, later in the week, or you sign up for it a year from now. Okay? But it just goes to show you that human beings, it's just in our nature. It just is human nature. It takes 7 to 10 times for people to make a decision. 7 to 10 times for people to make a decision. You just got to know that will change the whole trajectory of your business when you understand that, hey, if someone says no, they're not saying no, they're saying no right now. So you're just not having that nurture system with serious money on the table. Serious money on the table. It makes the anxiety disappear about people not buying, right? Because maybe they're not going to buy now, but there's a great chance. I needed new tires. I was going to get tires. I had to. All of a sudden, if I start slipping on the road, and I wasn't at that point yet, but I start slipping, I'm getting new tires. All right. When people start getting to a point where their weight is they have a health scare, or their pants don't fit anymore, they're going to get there. They're going to get there. All right. And you'll be there for them when they're ready. Nurturing current and former members. People that go on hold are telling you that they may quit. People that go on hold are telling you that they may quit. Nurture them. If someone goes on hold, nurture them. Stay in contact with them. Our clientele is a wealthy clientele. A lot of them go away on vacation in the summertime. So they put their membership on hold. But we have a whole process in place that stays connected with them on a weekly basis, because we know that there's a chance that if they stop for the summer, that they may not come back in the fall. Even if they love us, they just may not get their life together enough to get back in the fold. But if we're staying in touch with them over and over and over again, they're going to come back right away. And people that leave, people that terminate, they're not telling you that they will never come back, right? They're not telling you that, right? 15% of our new clients last year were former members. What are you doing to nurture them and stay in touch with them, right? Important point right there. August cash surge number 3. Send this email to all your unconverted leads. Send this email to all your unconverted leads. So they will use the subject, their first name. Sweetest sound is your own name, John. Hey, John, are you still interested in working with a personal trainer? Vince. All right. So all the people that were interested, that didn't buy, didn't convert, at one point they were. Okay, they were interested. And you can change that to, are you still interested in joining a gym? Are you still interested in this? But so you're still interested in blah, 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 whatever it is they were looking for. Okay, important point. This is one of the best tools you could ever use. It's called the 9-word email. Really great guy named Dean Jackson invented it, but it's something that just works. You will start recovering a lot of people that you thought you lost. August cash surge 4. All right, send this email to your full list. Subject, free nutrition coaching. Now you can just say nutrition coaching. You'll probably get less people. But hey, all this is driving people to a consult in a creative way. Right, so if you do consultations and you want to sit down with them in the beginning, that's all this is doing. Would you like to sit down with one of our trainers and discuss your fitness and nutrition for free? Because most of you probably do a free consultation, right? But this is just a different way, to do it. And you're getting them to respond because you're asking them a very specific question. And it's not, let me know if you'd like to, right? It's, would you like to sit down? Right? You're asking them a very direct question. So see if you can get some people in the door with that email. Okay, and the third part is your conversion, right? This is your consultation, this is your test drive, your pricing strategy, and your back-end sales strategy. All right, your consultation, your test drive, your pricing strategy, and your back-end sales strategy. What are we doing to convert these people into money, right? To money. We get them in, and now what are we doing to make some money? What are we doing to get them to hand us our first check? So here is the cash surge maximization formula. Okay, your attraction system, and let's just use this example of 30 leads a month. And let's say your attraction system is responsible for generating 30 leads a month. You got a Facebook ad, you got email going out, you got a print ad or whatever. Okay, and that generates 30 leads a month, which, mind you, is a lead a day in the course of a month. Okay. You have 15 trials from those 30 leads according to a good nurture system. A nurture system gets half of them to come in. Okay, so whoever's answering your phone, whoever's answering your emails, they do a good job, and they get 15 of the 30 to come in the door. Okay, and then 7 of them actually buy. 7 of them buy. So 30, 15, and 7. That's on a monthly basis. That's your conversion system. And let's say the average monthly spend for your business is $200 a month. Okay, so that's a $2,400 client. If you can stick to this and generate 84 new members a year, all right, at 7 members a month, which seems very doable, 7 members a month, okay, an extra $200,000 in revenue. Okay, so you're seeing a lot of this is back to, what are you doing to build a consistency in your business? Okay, so you're close. You're a lead a day. 30 leads in the month is a lead a day. It's a lead a day from adding 200 grand. Think about that. If you can just stop with a lead a day and know that at 30, if you can get 1 a day and you can convert 15 of them and you can convert 7 of them, you're a lead a day from adding 200 grand in revenue. And that's at $200 a month, which is on the low. It should be on the lower end. Okay, if it was 3 and 4, it'd be a lot more. But that's how you got to start thinking of it. You're a lead a day from adding 200,000 a member. Well, here's a guy that did it. All right, this guy's out in Washington, went from 221K to 394K in 12 months. This stuff is possible. This stuff is very, very, very possible if you just get focused. The system will set you free. A predictable, reliable, and consistent marketing system is your key to these results. And so my question for you is, do you want me to help you with this? This is something I've had vast experience with, and I can help you implement this into your business inside 6 weeks. So let's talk about You know you want a better system to generate leads on a consistent basis. You know that wearing your marketing glove will make your business a whole lot stronger. You know you're only a lead a day from doubling your business potentially. And you know if you go back and try this all on your own, you're likely to hit roadblocks and have lots of questions. And usually people will be coming back around. And so I want to talk to you guys about this new program I got. It's a 6-week client surge, and we're going to go over this for a few minutes, and then we'll take any of your questions on any of this stuff. So it's what it's going to do. It's going to give you a marketing machine, so you can finally own the control. Okay, own the control. This is a big thing that we're going to go with. Okay, owning the control over the lead and cash flow to your gym. It's the anti-6-week challenge lead gen system. Okay, now we do 6-week challenges, but it's not relying on this. This is giving you your education that you never got. The Surge program gives you the MBA in marketing that you never got. Most people get stuck. Most people get stuck because they hit plateaus. And they hit plateaus because it's just never been taught. All right, so you got to learn this stuff somewhere. And I've kind of taken, my dozen years of education in marketing and rolled it into 6 weeks for you guys. So the Surge gives you the building blocks to win for the long haul. So here are the goals. Increase your business by 50 to 250% in the next 12 months. Install a predictable, reliable marketing system into your business and give you full control and certainty over the most important part of your business. Control and certainty. Control and certainty. Big. This is Mark Foley at Denver, Colorado's business doubled through the Surge program. This is Alina at Fuse Fitness in New York, had her best month ever, after completing the Surge. Here's the structure. 6 weekly live coaching video seminars. The program is just like this, okay? So it's not me saying, hey, here, take this, online modules and go do everything on your own, and there's no structure or system. It's me. I'm with you. You got to deal with the Jersey accent. You got to deal with me. You're going to be seeing me on video. I'm going to be seeing you. That's what it's going to be like. That's what it's going to be. We're going to go for 6 weeks in a row. I'll actually take a week break, so it'll be a little more than that. So live coaching, and I'll break this up into 6 modules, which I'll talk about in a second. And we'll always do a Q&A at the end. So it's ongoing coaching and support for 6 weeks. Implementation and bridge work. You're going to implement a lot of this stuff into your business. So it's not just going to be learning stuff. We're going to be implementing. One of the cool things that I've been able to do is help people create that USP, which is that single statement, about who you are and how you help them and stuff like that. And I've helped a lot of people with the copy and the wording of that through just, hey, your homework was to do the USP, and they post it up in the Facebook group, and I'm answering it, and I'm critiquing it, and I'm revising it for them. So it's me actually working on this stuff with you the whole time. If you want me to critique your website, I do that as well. I mean, lots of cool things that I'm doing. I'm your coach essentially for 6 weeks. On the marketing and sales side of your business. All right, you're going to get boatloads of tools, swipe files, and sample ads, and you're going to get lifetime access to the program. So once the program ends, you get lifetime access to the video modules and all the resources that we talk about in that one. So the Surge is for you if you're struggling to generate a consistent flow of leads. If you get confused on which marketing tactics are the best to bring in high quality leads, if you don't have a concrete system to generate referrals that will be given to you, and if you lack the predictable process, okay, of getting new members, if you like that predictable process. So the Surge, if you're struggling to make the amount of profit you want, if you want a full-blown system to bring your gym the highest quality leads, and finally you want to own the marketing of your business and be fully in control of the future of your gym. Another guy at his best month ever, this is George out in Washington. A lot of West Coast guys do this. I'm not sure if anyone here is out on the West Coast, but this is George. And he implemented only 5% of what he learned at the Surge and is doing pretty damn good, and even took the next step to join the mastermind, which is great. So here is the curriculum. Here's what we'll be covering during our live 6 weeks together. Video seminar 1 is all about the foundations of marketing. This is like your system, your strategies. So we're going to learn the type of marketing that gyms like ours should be doing and what to avoid. So I'm going to help you avoid the traps of marketing like these experts are trying to tell you, with getting your name out there and getting your logo out there and all the bullshit that's being taught. And I'm going to teach you how to do really hardcore direct response marketing, so you can take this thing to a whole nother level. I'm going to teach you how to select the right target market, how to craft your message to the market, and how to build your marketing calendar, right? That's a big question. That's a big question. It's like, how do I organize all this stuff? You got to do it in a way that is structured so you can actually implement it. The marketing calendar will give you a whole structure on how to do it. Video seminar 2 is all about lead conversion. So this is kind of the nurture the side of it, how you're getting people in the door for the first time, how to run a consultative selling process so you can actually sell people into high value memberships, and then how to sell them into longer term memberships and not just high value as well. Video seminar 3 is all about referrals. We're going to talk a ton about referrals, and I teach a 4-part system to help you guys generate referrals. This is a huge asset to you, a huge asset to be able to understand how to generate referrals. It's going to be a really awesome module here. I'm going to teach you how to reward referrals and how to kind of get your name out there with omnipresence and your name out there with your clients, not your prospects. It's totally different. Okay, so next module is dominating email and social media. I'm going to teach you how to become an email ninja and how to start generating clients through email. There's tons of people on your email list that are ready and willing to come in through your door. And having a good strategy and knowing things like how often to post, knowing the different types of emails to send, how to write better subject lines, how to build your list. All these things are going to be talked about in your email module. This is actually, guys, done a great job with email. Now I can take trips with the family while things run smoothly at the gym. So that's Brian Sipitz. He's been a 2-year member of the Mastermind. He has become an email ninja with his, and he's done an excellent job with his business, that now he's able to sit home with his family. And he mentioned eating breakfast with his family. That's kind of who I was talking about before. And heck, he's just got a better life now. He's got a better life now that his gym is more effective. All right, we'll talk about Facebook. All right, again, I've knocked it a lot, but in reality, it's something that works, right? It's something that works, and the problem is there's a lot of changes, and I'll bring on one of my top guys to bring in all the latest changes in Facebook and how to help you get set up and how to get the ads approved and how to drop your cost per lead. All kinds of great stuff coming in through Facebook, but you got to know this stuff. Okay, your pricing strategy. This is huge. If you want to start making more money immediately, the number one thing you need to do is fix your pricing strategy. Okay, that is like a key thing and a key point to know, is that your pricing strategy will make you more money immediately. Most of us are charging too little money for what we do. Okay, and sometimes it's really just takes a little nudge from your old Uncle Vinny to tell you to start raising your prices. This will increase the average value per member. There's a big difference by having 100 clients at $200 a month and having 100 clients at $250. That's a totally different business. And sometimes the only thing in the way of that is a decision. Not an easy decision, but a decision. And then how to maximize revenue with back-end sales. We'll talk about how you can create a product and how to have, leverage more of the supplement side of things and how to implement that stuff into your business. There's a bunch of bonus products, the Get Cash Quick system, the holiday gift card system, how to use Google Ads, how to film the perfect video testimonial, Black Friday cash surge system. All this stuff are actually separate from the actual modules that I went through. One of the first things I'll give you is the Get Cash Quick system, which helps you make up the money that you spend on the surge. The holiday gift card system is one of the most lucrative things that I've ever taught. I'll show you a testimonial for that, but these are all just bonus products that you get when you join the surge. This is Brandon Kelly, the increased recurring revenue, $4,000 a month in one day. Increased recurring revenue, $4,000 in one day from a pricing decision. Okay, made a decision to raise his prices. Okay, $4,000 in increased recurring revenue in one day. It's amazing. This is Joe Riggio, owns Varsity House Gym. It's an unbelievable, most beautiful facility I've ever seen. But they brought in 57 trials from the holiday card system, converted 24 of them, and added $5,000 in recurring revenue. So you multiply that by 12. It's a pretty damn good campaign, if you will, just from the holiday card system alone, which you'll get access to when you join. So that's $5,000 that he increased, which is also the investment of the program. So people are on me to charge more than this because of the amount of return that people are making. So to join this program normally outside of a webinar like this, it's about $5,000. But for you guys taking the time and coming on and learning from me and taking this webinar, we're going to give you a webinar deal, a webinar price for this. We're going to give you two different options. Option one is 3 payments of $797, and option 2 is paid in full at $19.99. That is the cheapest way you could ever get into this program, and this price is only good while you're on the webinar today. So if you'd like to purchase this, just make sure you do so before the webinar ends, and you'll be able to get access to either one of these prices. Okay. So here's a guy that didn't think he could afford the surge. He was about to close the doors, and this is, not an uncommon thing. But this guy was done. Very tough time for him and his life and his family's life, and he was about to shut it down. And the surge was kind of like the last ditch effort, and he ended up just totally turning it around. The surge just totally turned it around for him, and he says the surge has awakened a sleeping giant in me. But this is what it's about. This is about these types of testimonials are what just get me so jazzed and fired up about taking your business to the next level, because this guy, his life is different now. His life is different now, and all because he spent 6 weeks learning about marketing. Who would have thought? This young kid also couldn't afford the program, and he added $4,000 a month in recurring revenue and 25 new clients. Since the surge, and he's actually done more than that because he also joined the mastermind, but he's done more than that. But I mean, this kid, same kind of thing. Like, he wasn't in dire straits, but he says, I don't know, this is a big investment for me. I don't know if I can do it. He was 26 years old. He's a kid. Actually, you'll see him on the page. He's in the video giving his testimonial about how he's like totally, transformed his business and his life from the program. So, I mean, it's a definite, this stuff works. It's not about, you just making these quick results. It's more about the long haul and what's going to happen in your life. Later, this is Daniel Anchetta who did the program. He added $3,000 a month in recurring revenue, doing an amazing job with his business. Here's my guarantee to you. If you don't get value from the program by mod 2, I'll fully refund every penny, no questions asked. So there's really not a risk. If you want to do it and you do it to the first 2 modules, you sign up today at the webinar price and you don't get value, I'll refund every penny, no questions asked. At the end of module 2, just come to me, send me an email. You don't have to send it to me. You can send it to Zach, my assistant, and we'll refund you. But that's never happened, and I don't think it will, because the value, one of the things that I've been told by the people doing the program is the extreme value relative to the price of the program. The extreme value relative to the price. Here's a couple bonuses I'll throw in if you want to sign up for the webinar today. These bonuses are only good if you want to sign up today. You get a free ticket to my 2-day live event at my gym in New Jersey. It's on October 19th and 20th. It's at my facility. It's normally a $1,500 ticket, but you're going to go ahead and get a free ticket when you sign up for the surge today, before this webinar ends. When I push end show on the webinar, all these bonuses will go away. So go ahead, and I reward action takers. So if you'd like to sign up for the program, I reward people that take action. But this is a $1,500 event that I have 2 days at the gym. You get to meet my staff. You get to see how my gym is run. You get to see my gym in action. Learn a lot all about our systems. It's 2 days of just mind-blowing stuff. So this could be worth the price of admission in and of itself. This guy got 43 new clients from the program. This guy added about $13K in recurring revenue, in lifetime value revenue. Again, I always want to be honest and upfront. It's the difference between lifetime value revenue and recurring revenue. And this guy now has a marketing plan for the future. And a lot of what I teach is hope, right? A lot of what I teach is hope. And this is like a great testimonial because now I have a plan for the future. Because now he can feel confident that he's got the systems and the knowledge in place to build a business for the long haul. And that's what I want to help you guys. That's what I want to help you do. Another bonus, my Facebook ad guy will set your Facebook ads up for you for free. He normally charges $2,000 for that, but we'll connect you with Kylie and he'll set it up for you. That way you kind of can just sit back and let him set it up for you, and he'll even write the copy for you if you want. There. Bonus 3, I'm going to give you guys the game-changing sweepstakes funnel. So you're going to get the emails, you'll get the landing page, you'll get the ads, everything that we've been using for the sweepstakes, you will get. So let me kind of just tell you about it. So basically, here's how this is structured. You give away something awesome for free, and you promote it for 2 weeks. So we'll give away like a 6-week challenge. So 6 weeks of our kitchen sink package, our highest value thing. We'll give it away for free. And people have to apply. They fill out an application and they have to apply to win it. And then we select winners. And what happens is, since the offer is so good, right? It's like that 12 CDs for 1 cent. Lots of people fill out the application. Well, not everyone wins. And so now you have all these people that filled out this application and the application is something you get to the questions that we asked. But you got people that fill out this application, and all these people are like primed and ready to win this thing, and then realize not everyone can win it. Well, then we have a follow-up system that we teach you. Follow up with all the non-winners and make them an offer. And it will bring gobs of people into your business. And it will also help you create this mini documentary. We teach you how to create like a documentary with you follow the people that do win, you follow them around and you drip their story out on social media. And that Kathy Balsamo woman that I told you about earlier, it'll light your community on fire. It'll light your community on fire. So here are some people that have done pretty well with it, 227 applications. The application takes about 10 minutes to fill out. This is not 227. I clicked on a lead ad that I didn't even know I clicked on. This is 227 of pouring their soul out to you on paper. 247, 125, 147, 98. All these people are getting these applications of people that are pouring their hearts out and saying, pick me, pick me, pick me. It's pretty amazing stuff. So if you're one of the first 5 that register before the webinar ends, you'll get these bonuses. Again, when the webinar is over, the bonuses will go away. So that. This is another guy that did the program. We're crushing it. Sold 18 trials after the surge, the first month of the surge. So awesome job, Ryan. And the email swipe file will give you the bonus email swipe file. You'll get my 20 best emails that we've used at GFP, along with the best performing emails from the SP. Mastermind members, that's another thing I'll throw in, and plus I'll even throw in another Facebook ad swipe file, and you'll get all of my best performing ads in the document pretty much ready to be launched. So a lot of cool stuff, a lot of bonuses. You get bonuses if you sign up on the webinar today. But here's the reality. You only need 1 client, right? You really only need 1 client. If you get 1 client at $200 per month, that's if you charge $200 a month, and you get 1 client, that's a $2,400 investment. Okay, and that pays for this whole program. So the reality is, you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot, and you can take that first client, you can put that check on the wall and be like, all right, that was my surge investment. But the reality is a lot more things are going to come. Promise me you'll get many more than 1 client in reality. So here's the recap. Lifetime access to all the surge modules. You'll get the 5 bonus products. You'll get the ticket to the mentorship, the Facebook ad install, the email swipe files, Facebook ad swipe files, and the sweepstakes files, all this stuff. Again, you get the bonuses when you sign up for the webinar today. So this is a great testimonial from Giancarlo. I've been in Cape Cod all week, and my gym has been running without me. I have a sense of freedom that I haven't experienced since before I started my business in 3 years. Okay, so a lot of times people are getting stuck, right? They're getting stuck because they don't have freedom. They don't know, what to do next. They don't know how to take this thing and get them to run without them. And this is a kid that's been able to do it. All right. So action cures fear. Action cures fear. There's still a bunch of people left on this webinar. And in reality, we're only taking the first 5 that do sign up. And, if once the webinar ends, once I push stop on this webinar, all those bonuses to go away. Imagine spending 2 days and getting to look behind the curtain of everything that I do in my facility that generates $130,000 a month in revenue. You'll get to meet my trainers. That's just one of the bonuses that you get, and then you take action today. So here is the link to sign up, and I believe Zach has put the link in the show notes. Let me just double check that. Okay, awesome. Very good. Okay, great. Okay, so awesome. So are there any questions? I know I want to go through a Q&A. Are there any questions that I can answer for you guys? The link to sign up is in the show notes. Are there any questions that I can answer for you guys? Because I did say that there was going to be, a Q&A section in the chat. So go ahead and just fire away. What questions, can I answer for you? Great advice. I'm a new gym. I would jump on this. I just could, but I do not have the money at this time. Well, thank you for letting me know how to calculate lifetime value. So, all right, calculate lifetime value is a good one. So basically, and if you got a newer business, it's a little harder to calculate this. But in reality, you have to take up, all right, what is the average amount of money that people pay for lifetime value? So let's say the average people pay is like $200 a month. And let's just say the average length of stay is 12 months. I'm just going to make math easy. So that is a $2,400 client, right? So the reality is that it's 20 every client that you sign up is like a $2,400 bill, right? And that's on average. So that's kind of how you would go ahead and calculate it. But it makes sense, like if you think about it, like, so a program like this, if you really have this mindset, a program like this costs $22,000, $2,500. But in reality, when you get a client from it, it kind of pays for itself. So that's how that's the power of knowing this lifetime value of a member. So really, really powerful stuff. So any other questions? Still got some people on here. Justin, thank you for your question. I don't have some of your names on here, so I apologize. I can't call you out by name. But are there any other questions or anything I can answer while you have me? Again, like I said, I unfortunately will be closing the doors on all the bonuses by the end of this webinar. So go ahead and just type into the chat any other questions for me. Love to help you out. All right. Type into the chat. What other questions do you have? Justin, you got any other questions? Any other things that I can answer for you? I'm not, and it's a little weird. I'm not like seeing the names of who's on here. So looking over notes. Okay, good. Oh, good, Justin. Any other questions? I apologize. I'm not seeing names of people for some reason, so I can't call you out by name. Justin, you're the only one I see, so maybe I'll just keep calling on you. Great. Okay, awesome. All right. Any other questions? Just type into the chat. And it looks like Justin's looking over his notes here. I'll have to wait for him for a second. There we go. Okay, let's see here. All right, how would you go about selecting the perfect client? I'm in a small town in Wyoming, and my demographic ranges from 16 to 60. Just a general gym feel. Here's the thing: it definitely, I'm assuming in Wyoming that the population is not huge, and that is one challenge of being as narrow as you can be versus if you're in Houston, Texas, you can be super narrow because there's just so densely populated. So you may need to widen the range a little bit of the demographic. And when I say the perfect client, what I'm saying is, what do you think about what, Justin, what do you want to build your business around? Right. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't train 16-year-olds. I'm just saying that you need to market to 16-year-olds differently. So you can have a marketing plan and have, let's say, like, that the biggest asset in the best chance for you to have a successful financial business is to really hammer the 40 to 60-year-old market, right? I'm just speaking out loud for that. Let's just say it's that is it, 40 to 60-year-old market. And that what needs to be the majority of your focus. But that does not mean that you cannot create a program for high school girls that are looking to get fit and in shape. But the reason was that will take a different marketing message and a different marketing channel and different joint ventures and stuff. And the problem what I see people is if they do too many things at once, well, they'll kind of just do everything at once. And what I like to have people do is, what is the primary? Right? What's the primary focus? And put all of your assets into that primary focus. And then you can even hire someone else to run. So we have someone that runs like our sports performance side. And we have someone that's really in charge of that sports performance. So the main function and the main people in the business are focusing on the 40 to 60-year-old market. Right. And then all of a sudden, as you grow, you can branch off and create these little pockets of different businesses. So the reality is a 16-year-old and a 60-year-old are going to not be communicated to the same way. And that's the biggest thing that you got to know. So another great question. Justin, does that answer your question? Yes. Okay, great. Okay, awesome. Um, so any other questions that I can answer while you got me on here? Oh, okay, cool. So it says, how do we interact with you and the other group members? Okay, great question. So when you actually, so every Tuesday we'll meet, and usually we do it at noontime on Tuesday, and we meet at 12 on Tuesday, and I go for about 12 to 1.5 to 2 hours roughly, where I'm teaching, like kind of like I did today. And then after that, there's a Q&A section where you can ask questions about the stuff I was talking about. But sometimes people like to ask questions about, what they, what they have going on in their business. And I'm fine with that too. Like if sometimes someone has like a trainer issue or they got a problem with that, I'm fine taking questions just on general business stuff, to general business questions just to kind of improve your business. It doesn't have to be exactly about the stuff we're talking about. But then in terms of interacting with me, is that you can ask at any point in time. I am on that Facebook group all the time, and you can ask questions every day. There's questions that get asked every day in the module, and I get on, and I try to kind of block time in my schedule to look at all the questions asked. If you want to post things like your website in there, if you want to post things like your USP that we talked about, I go in there and I can give you critiques through the 6 weeks. And, the other group members are all there in the Facebook group, and they're commenting and sharing each other's stuff. And it's a really good collaborative stuff. So would you recommend running a few months of focusing on, and then a month later, focus on a different group and attempt to get the slip through the cracks? I don't know. It's not, Justin. It's not really about like a month here and a month there, right? It's more about what is the primary focus, right? It's not like a month here, a month there. It's got to be every month. So if you're focused on 30, 40-year-old mothers and that is going to be your primary, right? I would be focusing on that year round all the time, year round all the time. And I would focus on getting that to a certain point where you have a good stable base of recurring revenue from that market, and then start focusing on the other groups, right? So that's in the end, that doesn't mean you can't train the other groups, right? That just means that you're not going to create a lot of, direct marketing for that group of four. You don't, that 30 to 40-year-old market is kind of like your niche. Like that's your thing. That's what you spend your time thinking about. That's what you spend your time doing. That's what you do. So I would focus on that market, and I would dominate that market and get to a base of really strong recurring revenue in that market. And then I would start focusing on the other groups. And again, like I said, that doesn't mean you can't train those other groups. It just means that you're probably not going to spend the time developing a really sophisticated marketing plan and strategy for that. Now, if you are training other groups, like if there's times of the year, and things like that, like, so for example, right now we're in the summertime and there's like, kids are home and you could do a camp. That is a little bit of a different situation. But the big thing is you don't want to lose sight of your core. What is your core? Who are you known for? Who are you going to be the best in the world at? What if you were to put your website out there and you want that 40-year-old mom to go to your website? Is she going to say, this is for me? Or is she going to say, this is for me, this is for my son, this is for my husband, this is for my grandma, this is for my mother? All right. You want people to say, this is for me. And there's other ways to get to the other people, but you've got to have that foundation in that primary. Okay, cool. Do you ever use supplement sites like SurveyMonkey and Poll? Yes, absolutely we do. I'm a completely new business. I was law enforcement for 10 years before buying this small town gym. Cool. In reality, the SurveyMonkeys are great, and you only need one, right? There's really one question to ask in a survey, and it's called the Net Promoter Score. The Net Promoter Score is basically from a scale of 1 to 10, right? How likely are you to refer us a client? And that is like the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that people want. If they're willing to refer, that means they're a very, very happy customer. So that's what I'd be doing to do that in terms of your current clients. In terms of like to get the exact demographics, you can pull studies of that stuff. You can go to the local directors. You can even find that stuff online. You can probably go to like a Wikipedia for your town and you can find all that demographic stuff. The demographics is simply just facts about your target market. So it should give you average income, average home price, that type of stuff. That stuff is very, very easy to get. That I think that could be good. But thank you also, Justin, for your service as well in law enforcement. So, but yeah, I don't think you need to use SurveyMonkey for that stuff. I think you can just go get that stuff and get the basics of it. In terms of how much you charge, the demographics is one part of it. At the end of the day, there's rich people everywhere. There just may not be a ton of them, but they are there. And you got to decide, is there enough of them in your community to be able to make your business go? So I think I'm planning a fishing trip in Wyoming coming up soon, Justin. So I'll have to, yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, I hope to join your group soon. Okay, thanks for your help. Awesome. Thank you. Definitely read the books, and definitely listen to the podcast as well. But thank you so much for being so interactive. I know there's other people on, but I do realize I can't see any of the other names, unfortunately. Going from there. Oh yeah, prime fishing. That's what I want to do. I'm planning it out. I have 3 buddies they're all in the fitness industry in all different fields of mine. One's a nutrition expert, one's a corporate wellness guy, and he owns a gym in Texas. And we're all going out. We're doing a trip to Wyoming. I think we're going to hunt for some elk too. So I'm excited about that. So some fishing and do some hunting for elk. I'm excited. So thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right. So I'm going to kind of put the end to this. If you're looking to sign up, go ahead and just click that link. You can do any time, but you'll lose access to the bonuses once I click off. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you coming on. That is the link to jump on, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much.